Hello guys, I am International Main, better known as wonderfultimeinch.com, and welcome to my channel again. So here we are again trying to play some rapid games in order to speedrun. I think to 2100 this time. Now we are 919 and we can try to play like maybe 2 games, see what happens. Sure, let's go together. And I want to show you how how important it is to know some kind of theories. Also, basically, what kind of mistakes that some early level players always make. Sure? So, let's start right away. Okay, first game, I meet the guy Aloha Kans from Indonesia, I think. Yes. E4 again, E4. Let's play E4 first. Nice C6. This is playable for sure, but the thing from this move is that it is not controlling the center, so I don't think this is a good idea to play this move. I mean, I play this myself, but this allows us to freely occupy the center, so I think this is good for us. That's why E5 should always be play E6. By this play here, so he simply give us a free center and we can comfortably develop, right? F3. This is not smurfing, this is speedrun. I will try and go speedrun in my clone account. And at this game here, at this account, so the one who loses against me will be having the refund, I think, later. Now F6. He attempts attacking our pawn on E4, right? Now this one. So knife 3, this is not key ID. Basically now this is a bit different. Knife 3, the idea to develop normally and trying to get the pieces out. If you want to play some Queen's Gambit, something like that, C4 is the way. But that is a bit different though. I just want to choose a safe and a fun option. Bishop D3, defend the pawn on E4. Also we'll castles next. One thing I want to mention is that I guess the easiest way is always trying to play something simple and trying to guide you into some kind of not so hard, not so complex way to develop your pieces. What about King Knight C3? Knight C3, he can try and play Bishop B4 here in order to pin the knight. I don't want to allow that. That's why I simply go Bishop D3 in order to develop normally. Knight E4. Okay, this is a pretty good move by him. Push the pawn earlier. If I play E5 now, you can play Knight E5, and it will somehow transpose to the kind of Alekhine variation. Knight E4. Now he's not doing anything, so I will simply castles. The knight on E4 here actually is kind of annoying, so we will need to challenge him really soon. Really soon. But you see here, right? Normally black loves to play C5, but with the knight on C6, he cannot do that, right? But that gives us slight initiatives and a good position. Okay. Now, how do you think you can challenge the knight on E4? How do you think white can challenge the knight on E4 in this position? The simplest way here is knight BD2. It's correct. First of all, C4 he don't need to take the pawn, and then you need to take here, and then his knight A4 is still covered. Second, by knight BD2 here, so we force him take back in D2, right? And then we take with the bishops, and it also open up our bishop in D3 as well. And this is a very typical way to open up the positions. And thank you, Jose, for the raid. I highly appreciate it. So hello guys, I am International Master Minh here, who is trying to play some speedrun game at this moment. Welcome raiders though, welcome raiders. F5 we play. Now what do you think we can do here for white? What do you think we can do here for white? Let's go. Correct, in percent. You know, his knight can come back to home, but after that, the pawn on e6 suddenly becoming so bad, right? The pawn on e6 becoming so bad. Eat a croissant. Yeah. That sounds fun though. Agree with that. Take here is forcing, I think, and okay, gf6. Okay, so he simply forget that right now, so he just like give me a free ticket here. And thank you, Jose, for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Okay, so now guys, what do you want to take on e4? The knight or the bishops? Which one do you want to take on e4? Yes, the knight is much stronger. Since by this one here, so you open up the position and your bishop becoming very powerful, right? This diagonal. In this kind of open position, the bishop is always more valuable than a knight. e5, oh my goodness. Here he even didn't try to take back our knight at e5. Instead he like trying to break up a center when the king is here. Wow, what a way though. This is like very surprising move for me. A surprising move. I don't know. He didn't even take the pawn, take the knight at e5. Instead, he trying to break through in the center when his tower appears, and he's not developed yet. Which is surprising. I don't even know. Okay, so now what do you want to do for white? What do you think we should do now in order to obtain a winning position? Yeah, that is like a very high level move by him though. Basically here, everything wins. But the safest way and the fastest way to win is to go for the attack right away. Knight e5. Knight e5. Why we do this? Since the king on e8 is not fully covered, right? It should be fine. Okay, come on Jose, you are much better than this. But you know, basically, by this one here, so we open up the queen, right? And his king is on the center. That's why this is very strong and hard to be met. Queen h5, right? We get the queen into the game right away, and his king is in serious trouble. Only 2 square for him. What can he choose? Now, since the king is so bad, we simply give back the material and we go for the assault right away at the moment. King e7. How can we develop another pieces into the game? How can we develop another pieces into the game with decisive effect? Yes, it is, right? When we get a chance like this, do not miss. You simply get a bishop into the game with checks, and it is even a skewer. Wow, h3 prophylactic. Wow, this is a very like fight move. Okay, and here I think we can win easily. He has disconnected. Boom. You know? So we just like, you know, as a speedrun title, we win in 12 moves. Very short games. And we crush the opponent real quick. He resigned, right? Nothing you can do though. And boom, that's it. That is it. You know, what if king d7? I mean here king d7, you get plenty of way to continue here. But I think the best way is like queen f7, this one. Right? Queen f7, And if you play like queen here, so like queen d5, right? This one, and it's very very bad for him. Bishop e7, allow knight f6, and we got a very fun mate here, right? Like this one as well. The thing is that his king is so bad, and he is not developed, so that basically we can go for the attack right away, right? His king is very very exposed. We can go for the attack right away, and boom, let's finish, right? Let's go real quick into the game again, and we can play another one. e4, knight c6. This is a fine move. I play this myself, but I do not recommend that to play for you guys. You need to, you know, play for some kind of tricks, like d4, d5 here, this one. In the game, he didn't do that. He played like e6. Knight f3, just simply develop the knight to the center, right? And, you know, play something safe. Okay, in the game, so knight f6, bishop d3, d5, e5, knight e4, and castles. The idea here, as I mentioned earlier, is always trying to play knight d2, right? Knight d2, and try and clear the knight. And that is his best choice here. Take here, right? Could bishop d2 in this one, like that, I think. And we can simply play c3 here to consolidate, right? Knight g5 and start for some like assault in the king side like this. Thank you, Jose, and once again, thank you for the raid. Goodbye, and good night as well, I think. So in the game here, I mean, like, you know, he just played f5, which left his king very bad, right? Takes here in percent, and his king suddenly is bad here. g6 and knight e4. Whatever it is, he must take the bishop, the knight here at own cost. But no, e5. This move, I mean, like, I don't know, people can play this one in like 900 level, but it feels like really strange in my opinion though. He do not take the pieces back, instead he trying to go for a breakthrough. His king is here, which is making no sense at all, right? I can go like knight g3 or knight e3, bishop b5 as Jose mentioned earlier, but this is much better when I see the way to get my queen into the game, right? And his king is very bad as well, so I go for the direct attack, right? And he cannot find a way to direct against that, and this is just, I think, cut it over. Sure, I don't think that there are some questions for this game. Any questions you want to ask? Do you find my explanation clear enough? Or any questions? If not, we can go through next game. I can say it like a pretty straightforward game, honestly. When, you know, he just like, you know, play some really bad move and give us a free win. Nice. Another one. Another one. Okay, so now we got a new guy here from Australia. Red wine and chess. 11. Okay, what a long name though. What a long name. d4. Knight f6. His mistake is f5, yeah, I agree. Also, his opening is tough as well. c4. Yes, I mean, like, to be in order to make this one like the most mainstream variation, I will play Nimzo Indian, e6. Knight c3, bishop b4. Knight f3. Now, black has 3 different options. 1, 2, 3. He can even try this one as well as 4th option. But b6 actually can be played later. I will try and play the best line, I think, for black here. Castles. So g5 is correct, yes. A very annoying move. I mean, plenty of people having, I think, issues to direct against this move. Against the pin here. But this is nothing so scary for us. d5. The idea here is that we want to prevent the move a4 for him, right? So d5 here to defend that. Yes, d5. e3. This is main variation though. He's playing it correctly, which is pretty nice, right? h6. A very important move, you know, in the Nimzo Indian. So this kind of move is really nice. It forces him to, you know, make a decision about the bishops. Also, you know, I mean, like, we can try to open up the fly square for the king later, right? Switch 4. Maybe d7 is a move. It is a move for sure. I will go for something pretty, I can say, understandable, b6. Now you want to develop the bishop on c8. You want to develop the bishop on c8, right? So b6 and bishop b7 is normally the way for you to do that. Bishop b2, bishop b7. Castles. Now we got a very mainstream variation. I think, you know, we need to give credit for him to play something pretty correct in terms of opening. dc4. Taking c4 and open up the diagonal here for the bishops. You know, if we take here first, you can take on c4 right away. But if he plays bishop e2, we take here, and then it makes sense that he will need to waste a tempo to like move the bishop twice, right? So that is an important thing to be memorized in this kind of variation. c4, knight d7. The next idea here is like c5, and black is completely fine. That's it. This guy also played a very nice and very correct opening, which is fairly, I can say, instructive as well, right? I like this. I like the game though. Also, please ask me along the process if you do not find my explanation clear enough, or there's something you want to ask. Queen d3. This move sounds like a strange one, but okay. If c5 a3, bishop c3. Don't go that right away though. You know, in this kind of variation, like Nimzo Indian, the bishop on b4 always need to be ready to take on c3. Why not k6? I mean, like, you know, the thing here is that if you go the knight here, right, the pawn on c6 will be not able to play c5, right? And c5 is a very important way to play here for us. Next, the knight on c6 also block the bishop on b7 as well. You see? The knight on d7 can also do a good job to defend the knight on f6 as well, in terms of the pin, right? Queen c2 is fine though. I mean, like, it is like the variation. He can try to choose. This guy actually is doing really great. Really great. I think you want to go this way. I think so. Taking d4 first. Knight d4. Okay guys, I think now we'll start the question here. You know, here, so it should be the easiest way. If we can try to get rid of his bishop pair. How can we get rid of his bishop pair right now? Knight e5 is lower. You get queen e2 and bishop g3. This is much more forcing. And you know, if we can do this, we are really fine here. Take bishop on b3, right? And then we can move bishop back home and put bishop pair here, which normally will give us a pretty easy to play positions. This game won't be quick. I think there are plenty of things here need to be explained this game. After this one, so there are kind of no card of play for white, and we can go for, like, you know, exploiting our bishop pair like that. Hey Michiko, yeah, this is a strong 900. I agree though. I agree. Queen c4 takes. Let's see how we take here on b3. This and this and this. And b3 is nice. This guy actually is really good though. I mean, for 900, this is more than decent. More than decent, to be honest. Here, so you got two choices. You can try to play for something safe. Bishop e7, like this. Rook d1, queen c8. And you opt for some like long-term counterplay. But I will go for something different. I will try to get, a different kind of, position here with this move, c3. Which I think is better for us. Queen c3. Makes sense. Yes. As I mentioned earlier, right? This guy is pretty good for a 900. It's pretty good. Queen d5 here is very good. But I will play a very nice thing. Knight e4. And I move to the endgame. Why? Take here, right? Take here d8. We play knight c3. And then take here rook d8. And the pawn on c3 is very weak, right? It's very weak. Bishop here is stronger than knight as well on b3. Knight c3 now. Okay, so now this is what I want to mention. We got to an endgame. You see, right? And the pawn on c3 is very, very weak. You see that? Okay, knight e4. How can we start put pressure on his position right now? Yes, the way see it. We start to put pressure on his weakness, right? And when you see his weaknesses, the first idea to do is trying to put pressure on that. Knight b5. That is wrong. He wants to defend the c3 square for sure. But now, what can black play simple to, like, exploit of these mistakes? Which a6 is weaker. This is simply stronger. a6. Correct. Now the knight need to run, right? And this pawn is free. That's it. I mean, he was playing so well earlier though. Now what is this? He was playing so well earlier. Now what is this though? Hard to explain though. He was playing so well earlier. Now what is this? Okay, I guess that, like, this is some kind of, like, I think familiar mistakes in 900. Like, people will sacrifice material, like, all of a sudden. Next guys. Now, should we take the pawn on c3? Or do we have something better? Should we take the pawn on c3? Or can we have something better? Yes, skewer, right? And now it's over. I mean, he was playing so well earlier. And now, to see this one, this is very bad for me. Okay, f1, rook c3. And now we're up a free rook, right? So now the next part is simply trying to invert the rook to the second rank and try to make it easy, rook c2, right? Now, click everything, for sure. Make it easy. Next move is read 2 here and go for this. GG. He was playing so well earlier though. Yes. And this guy is also provisional. I mean, why do he lose 22 rating for a loss? He lost 22 rating for a loss. So this guy, I think, is some kind of smurf, or I don't know. I mean, he was playing so well earlier. But suddenly he gave me a free knight. Obviously here, if you play knight e4, we take the free pawn here, right? Which is good for us. But just he should not, like, give up a knight like that. He played opening so nicely opening here. So this is like, he plays something really nice in opening, which is like really good for 900. But if you make some bad move in the opening, I can do that and still be able to win. But since I want to be a good coach, I want to make this one into YouTube channel, I will try my best to play something correct in the opening though. In the game he played correctly, e3, a6. Everything is correctly here. Everything is correct. You know, here and here. Also for black people, black players here, please remember this kind of pattern, since you want to develop like this for black. For black, right? I'm a black player. Black player. I did trying to like change my word later, right? I know I realized my mistakes. I'm sorry. So here, so in the game, so this is like a very good way to develop for black, which is like give you a very, I can say, equalized and a comfortable situation here to play for black, right? In the game, I think I'm fine for sure, but just like he just played some bad moves that I don't know. Knight 4 is nice move by me. Take here is fine, I think so, but take here, it's good for us. If you play bishop e7, go to e8, this one. If you play bishop b6 here, now what kind of move? What kind of move we can play here to win material? What kind of move we can play here to win material? Yes, knight 2, right? We got a very strong intermediate check. H1, and we'll take the 3 bishops. At first sight, it can be seen that the knight here on e2 is trapped, but if we want here, you can play this move, right, to defend the knight, and that is fine for you, but for us, right? So knight c3 is very strong move here, and in the game he plays one, and and this is kind of endgame when black is completely better. The pawn here is very weakened, and we got a fire here as well. Bishop is like controlling a strong diagonal, so we are just completely good here. Alright, in the game, just why can't I find a way to handle this? But whatever it is, this is very well played by him though. So you guys, one thing I want to mention, especially for some 900 people, is that always be careful, always trying to look for the threats and trying to check that if he got something so strong, or trying to check for your opponent's threat. One thing I realized that somehow, basically he can try to sacrificing the pieces all of a sudden. And this happened to me sometimes, yes. Can we run the knight to trap, run the king to trap a knight? Here, right? Here, this one here, right? e2, here and here, e1 and b6. You cannot. Let's say like g3, right? This one, but you can rook c8, and you're so fast at your invasion. Since the knight on e2 defends c1 as well, right? So now you can try to go for this one right away, defend the knight and go for the pawn here and invading in his camp. Could you beat the position against Magnus? Who knows? If I got a chance to play against him, I can try that. Who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So in the position, in kind of like an end game like this, like a queenless, it should be correct, like the queenless middle game. The one who get more pawn island should be worse. That's it. The player who get more pawn island should be much worse, right? The nice trap, but like there's no way for you to take the knight. You can defend that, and you can try to get the group in here to save him as well. Is this guy underrated? I don't know. His rating is also provisional too. He just lost 22 rating after a lot against me. Which is pretty funny though. Okay, so hopefully you guys can understand the game. Thank you for hearing that, and